What's up, Thrashers? I'm back. It's been a couple of days. I'm a little sporadic with the uploads. This is a redo of the Till Death Do Us Part Exodus video because I was not happy with that one for one chief reason. Well, two. One, I just kind of didn't show some little things in the tune that I feel like I would have figured out and probably should have. And two, I was high as shit. I shouldn't have made that video like that. But I wanted to make it, and I wanted to get it out there kind of quick, and that shouldn't have done that on my off day. So making up for that, I'm just going to reteach it really quick, and I try to do this one quick and easy, because whoever wanted to see that one's probably seen it already, but this is going to be a little bit better. So, main riff, the staple, the coolest riff in the tune, the main one. Right, you have that one going on. So, what is this one? The way I like to think of it, it's kind of like, you know Through the Never, the Metallica tune off Black Album, the one good song off of there? No, I'm kidding. But the one, like, thrashy one. What is it? You know, that one. Kind of like think of that type of idea, but like a half step down. And it's like an E-based thing instead of an F-sharp based thing. You're kind of thinking Phrygian dominant for the whole thing. So every single one of these notes, you're going to have like a one open between them. And you're going 3, 2, 3, 2. But those last two, there's no one open, it's just 0. I'm going to do it really slow, follow along with your ears, and then play it. Very easy. You can use whatever fingers you like. I like these 3, but you can use your pinky if you want. Pinky and ring, or maybe pinky and middle. There's no illegality to which fingers you use. And picking pattern as well. I like to do all downstrokes because it sounds kind of percussive and cool, but you could do whatever combination of downs and ups you want to do for this riff. Bear that in mind for any riff you learn. It really doesn't matter the specific way you pick it. Just however makes it easiest for you to do it consistently, or whichever sounds the coolest. Anyways, after that, you have the guitar behind it, Rick. He's just doing open E's for the first couple times it happens. You know, open E power chords. But then on the later bit of the song, shortly thereafter, he's doing different chords. So like to 1, and then way the hell up, doing that picking pattern, that little rhythmic bit on 10 on the A string power chord. So behind this, so you have that like, that thing you're going, right? At least that's what I think I hear going on behind it. And then they both do the riff together. Really cool. It's really cool. And then the verse riff is the same thing, but just with like some chugging instead of some repetitions on some of it. So here's this. That's the riff. Very easy. So, right, you're starting it normally, just how you would the main one. But you're just doing a lot more chugs and giving it some space to breathe for a minute. And now we're doing chords. So the only chords you're doing, 1st fret A string, your tritone, and 3rd fret low E. The kind of non-Phrygian dominant note, but you know, Phrygian and Phrygian dominant, kind of interchangeable in thrash. Anyways, it'll go something like this if you do it right. And then the ending is a 3, 1, open. A string, low E, low E. So I'm going to do it a little slower. Listen with your ears and play along. And that's for the verse. And then the chorus is this thing. You know. That one. That's the chorus. And then I think they change up some of the riffs a little bit. They do like a... Yeah, that's the thing they do. Okay. So this different riff, I don't remember if it happens here or later. I know it does happen later, but like I can't tell if it's both times or only later. But I'll just give it to you right now anyways. So you're starting off kind of the same, but then you're ending just, right? And you have that second fret kind of ringing out. And then, which is a really cool idea. And I can't tell what the back note is. So it's you're climbing up like a fully diminished kind of chord here. Now I can't tell if it's going back to 2 on the A or barring over to 3. Listen to these and listen to how they sound different. That was 2, and now here's 3. Hear what I'm saying? Versus, I don't know. Either one could work. I feel like 2 makes more sense just finger-wise, but note choice-wise, 3 sounds better to me because of the resolution, going from there to there, but with the power chord at the end. You know, that just kind of makes sense to me. It's whatever you think it might be. It doesn't necessarily matter too much. What's after that? Then they have that cool section that they do with the right? I guess I'll show you that one. So this goes as follows. You're doing some low E chugs, and then that little pattern there. So I want you to think Phrygian dominant on this E here, and you got to think those notes right there. That's your little scale. So all the notes are kind of coming out of that thing. So let's see where that is. D string. 6. 6 on the D string. And then 8, 7 on the A. But they're muted. And then you're going to do 7, 9 on G and then D. Hear those notes there. But I think on the third one, you don't hit this last note, and then you go into a pattern. This is harmonize. That's where I like to do it. That's the higher version, at least what I'm hearing. It's you're doing thirds, minor thirds here, then a major third there, and then major third here again. I like to switch up to this next pair of strings. You could also just do it on the same string, like that, whichever is comfortable to you. Right? And I think Rick is doing a different thing at the end. That little idea right there. Again, it's thirds across this pair of strings, but lower. Minor third there. Minor third there. And then up. And that gives, as the classical douchebags would call it, counterpoint. One part of the harmony is going up, while the other part is going down. and that sounds very pleasing to the ears. So if you're a classical music nerd, you know that's what that is. If you're a metal dude, you should still know what that is because it's really badass and it's used in a lot of cool songs. Anyways, so those two and then those two are together, and I think there is one more higher voicing going on that is added after the fact, and I don't know what that is. It's probably just up another third, or maybe an octave of one of the other ones. Probably an octave of Gary's part, the little. Probably up there or something, or maybe another there. I have no idea. Anyways, that's pretty simple. And then you have this like weird little solo that Rick does with just octave chord things. And it kind of reminds me, it kind of sounds like beachy, like a Beach Boys kind of thing. I don't know. It just sounds really cool, like a, beach guitar thing. It's really cool. So over the back of this, I think it's behind that. He does this. That. And that's so cool. So you're working with the same Phrygian dominant notes, and you're just doing these octave things, strumming on them. That's the solo, sort of slowed down, and it's very feel-based. Not everything happens like on the end or beginning of a bar, so it can feel kind of weird. It was hard for me to do it, and even then, I'm sure that's not exactly how Rick does it, but it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. And now there's this little harmonized bit with like. That's harmonized there, and then I think. Up there. And this pattern gave me a lot of trouble, and I think I did it in injustice when I did it the other video. So I think it's better now, but again, it's just a weird pattern. So you start off with that idea right there. You're still thinking Phrygian dominant. Still the same notes, same everything. So you're thinking this idea here. That's how you start it. And then you're climbing up that pattern. I thought before that it was, the up like skip one hopscotch kind of idea, but it's not. It's like a walking up kind of thing. That's the pattern. I'll do it ultra slow. Just follow along. And then higher up. I think that's it. I'm not 100 billion% on this particular lick. It's weird. It's harmonized weird. It's not a consistent pattern for the beginning of it. It's weird. It was weird for me. And then there's a little solo that Gary does. Starts with that little thing. You're thinking dominant pentatonic. And you're thinking these first. And now you're back to thinking like Phrygian dominant with this type of idea. That type of thing. You gotta have some sort of pattern to get you down to this note. So think of something. I'm just doing a lot of picking and a lot of hammer pull-offs where it feels right. Just mess around. You'll find something if you're okay. If you've been practicing lead guitar patterns and scales, you'll be okay with this. And then there's a major sweep that happens. And here's the thing. If you're doing it down here, I hear on the record it sounds like it goes all the way from the lowest note all the way back here, this big major sweep. And then for the next lick, which is just the same one but going lower, down to that note now. If you're doing it up here, like that, with this two minor looking shapes, with the one note behind, then you're going to want to do the full major sweep. If you're instead doing it up here in the 12th position, where you're up here and you're thinking like that, you might just start the sweep like that, just one big rake across, and then either go down or go down staying in the 12th position. So two different ways, like that, or instead, and then nope, hold on. That one always trips me up. See, I like to do it where it carries in octaves from high to low instead of in this position here. That's just my preference for this particular lick. And it doesn't change after that, that's fine. And then we're at the little outro thing where we have that same lick, riff, whatever that we showed earlier, the one. Right, but instead of chugging, we just leave it open for the first three of these. And on the second one, you'll hear Rick do this octave. Which sounds really cool juxtaposed to the thing going on behind it. I think that's what it is. Going from 3 with octaves all the way up to 9, I think. Or maybe it's 8. I think it might be 9, though. Just hear it. It's very subtle. It's just in the back. But I love when Rick does stuff like this. You'll hear it in a bunch of songs. Rick loves to add flavor to the riffs that Gary's doing using octave stuff, which is really cool. Listen to Only Death Decides, and you'll hear when he does the thing. Banana, banana. He'll do that on the main riff a couple of times. Or something like... I don't know if he goes to a minor third or just a second from that. But it's really cool. And it only happens a little bit, but when it happens, it's special. It makes the riff special. So find yourself a guitar player who does stuff like that. Adds little embellishments on your riffs that happen sporadically throughout the song that make them better. That's really important. But yeah, he does that for a couple of them over this. It might actually be there. I don't know. It might actually not be 9. It might be 8. It doesn't really matter too much. Then you have the outro bit, which is pretty simple, where you're just adding little bits onto the thing. And I think on top of that, it's literally just only 2 of these notes with E's in between. If it isn't, it might be carrying it like this. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it might just be these notes. And then over that, Gary is doing, I got this terribly wrong. I thought it was a major. But it's actually this. Super easy. Pinky on the B string, this note here. And then you have this whole step separation on the G string. There. And you have the pickup part that restarts it, where you go up instead of down. Really cool. So you're stacking. Stacking those on top of each other. It's like a cool bit. I love stuff like that. I love how Gary uses harmony. That's one of his favorite things is like harmonized guitars ever since the beginning. And it's so cool. It's so good. Some other bands that I think do harmonized parts really well a lot of the time. Lich King has some solos that are harmonized that are pretty good, and some parts in the main riff that are harmonized that they do on some of their songs. Gamma Bomb had a couple, but not really too many. Havoc has a couple that are really cool, like in No Amnesty, that one part. And there's another example in like Warbringer. They have a lot of cool harmonized parts. They're very good at doing harmonized guitar riffs. Those are awesome most of the time they do it. It mostly happens with their like kind of death metal tremolo bits. They add any of those things. I don't know. I've never learned a Warbringer riff that has that, or even one in general. But I'm going to. That's probably going to be the next thing. Probably a Warbringer song, or maybe something else. I don't know. Yeah, that's it though. That's all I have for this lesson. I hope this one was helpful and decently concise and way better than the other one where I was baked out of my mind. Quickly, I want to say go to my channel and then go to the part where it's like posts or whatever, I think, and I made a post about what the next upload should be. If it should be an actual lesson on another song or a lick or technique thing, because I don't know. I want to know, and I feel like doing that. It's right now tied, I think, but I want to see some more votes cast on that before I do the next upload. Maybe I'll do like a filler video between that. But yeah. Other than that, listen to metal, play metal, be metal, and I should also probably plug that other video I did. Thrash is Dying, kind of a clickbaity title. But I talk about kind of the newer thrash bands, and I'm gonna be doing a couple more videos about what's wrong with some of the old school revival bands, and then the new bands coming up that I think I see, and I think that'll be very interesting. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed. Pick Throw. See you in the next one. Peace.